So Supergiant recently released the Good Times patch for Hades, which included Dionysus, a new deity, and a new weapon, Exagryph, the Adamant Rail. I tried out the weapon for a couple runs and have some initial impressions. Overall, I really liked the concept of the Exagryph. It feels like they just put a gun with a freaking grenade launcher in the game. The main attack shoots like a semi-automatic which fires as fast as you can push the button for 10 damage. After firing 12 times, you must reload before you can fire again, and has a medium to long range. The secondary attack launches a rocket in the air to a location you can specify by holding down the secondary attack button. The rocket does 60 damage in an area. One thing to note is that when you need to reload, if you continue pushing the attack button, you will just stand still and will not reload automatically. You will want to keep track of how many rounds you have and dash away to reload, rather than standing still in front of enemies, clicking the empty chamber, like an idiot. Adamant Rail feels like the correct name for this weapon, as it really reminds me of the railgun from Quake games. Well, sort of. I really like the way the gun looked, sounded, and the concept, but until you get it upgraded, it's very difficult to do decent damage. The best dataless upgrades I found was the spread shot, which changes your attack to a shotgun blast but reduces your ammo count to 2. The spread shot was ridiculously strong, allowing you to two-shot most enemies. It also felt like a defensive boost, as you didn't need to stand still to take as many shots. This upgrade actually led to my second ever victory over the Hydra, so, take that as a pretty strong endorsement of that upgrade. The other solid upgrade I found was the Poseidon attack upgrade, which adds knockback. The knockback damage can really stack up with the primary fire as you pin enemies to the wall, adding knockback damage with each of your 12 shots. I'm excited to try for a Zeus attack upgrade next. I can imagine the primary attack shooting out lightning bolts being very strong indeed. I think the Ares and Artemis primary attack buffs would be somewhat less effective on this weapon since the primary attack has such low damage and rapid fire. The enemies that gave me the greatest difficulty while using the rail were the Skull Crushers and Gorgons, though perhaps that isn't as much due to the railgun as it is to those enemies being total jerkbags, especially when combined with the Gorgons. I mean, the devs really outdid themselves with the pure evil of paralyzing the player before dropping a brick on their heads. Hats off to you fellas, you really got me. The secondary attack, on the other hand, felt a little awkward to me. I liked the concept, but it was so hard to get the attack to land, and when I would try to aim the thing, I was usually punished for standing still. This may be a bit easier for those playing on a mouse and keyboard. The controller automatically would aim for the nearest enemy, but would put the reticule directly over the enemy, rather than leading the enemy a little bit. Many times I would fire the rocket only to have the bombs land behind the enemy as they marched towards me. I tried 2 different upgrades for the secondary attack. The first was a spread attack. This sounded like a good idea on paper, but it didn't work out as well as I'd like. The rockets were spread out too far to be effective for the smaller groups of enemies, and even for larger groups the damage was much lower, and the rate of fire too slow to offer much utility. I think I was hoping to be able to stack the extra bombs on the same enemy, but such was not the case. The second dataless upgrade I tried was the rapid fire secondary attack. This was more effective and allowed me to carpet bomb where I wanted. Though still, the attack animation was slow and often led to me standing still even as I frantically smashed the dash button. This has potential, and I'm excited to see how boons could affect this upgrade for the rail. Overall, this update is definitely worth checking out. The new weapon plays very differently from any of the other weapons. With a little tweaking, I feel this could be one of my favorites. And Dionysus is a cool addition to the game as well, adding Blight Wine damage over time effects to many abilities and attacks, and additionally giving the Festive Fog debuff, slowing down enemies. Perhaps the most interesting boon that Dionysus offers is the upgrade to Ambrosia, adding to your total life each time you pick one up. This basically turns Ambrosia rewards into pseudo-centaur hearts. I hope you guys get a chance to check out the new update. And if you haven't bought the game yet, now is as good a time as ever. There are dozens of hours worth of content packed into this title already, and if you enjoy the roguelike genre, this is a high quality entry. Thanks for watching. Please like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel if you're interested in seeing more videos about Hades, as well as other games. Take care.